And welcome back to the Adams Brothers Podcast. We are here this evening with Miss Ihesha O'Neal, and she is has her own business. It's called the Market Path Youth Mentoring Initiative. So welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast, Ihesha.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. So tell us about Market Path Youth Mentoring Initiative. And how did it get started?
Tell us about
Okay,
yourself first, and then you can
oh,
get
by
to the
myself.
initiative.
Yeah, you can tell us
Well,
about
I
yourself.
am born and raised in Deerfield, also raised in Delray Beach, Florida. I am a graduate, attended and graduated from Florida A&M University. Also attended and graduated from Columbia Southern University with my master's. I attended Deerfield High School, cheered and like I say, born and raised between Delray and Deerfield, all my life. I know nothing else other than when I went to Tallahassee to school. Um, and yeah, I grew up in, and of course, your family is very known to me. It's like my other family, an extension to family.
Right.
I participated in the youth sports here in Deerfield, and also mentored and coached out as I was a cheerleader and then turned to junior coach. So mentoring is dear to me because of that background,
And you mentor professionally as well on
and
your
I
on your
get
full
paid to
time
do so.
job as well, correct?
Yes, I am. I work for the state in the juvenile justice system. So I work with them every day with kids who have possibly lost their way or headed to losing their way. So our goal is to try to tackle them before it's a little out of control.
Okay. So
Hmm.
now you can tell us about Market Path Youth Mentoring and Initiative. Tell us about your business. Tell us how it got started. Where did you come up with the name?
Okay, so Mark Your Path Youth Initiative uh is what it is, marking your path. I left Deerfield in 2002, and I promised myself when I return home, I'm not coming back here without a degree. So, and I did not do that. I came back with that plus. So, I also made a vow to myself that if I could have the opportunity to give children who have gotten themselves in a bit of a jam the opportunity to, give them a little guidance, I would do such. So I just didn't know how I was going to do that. Fast forward to now, working in juvenile system um, has afforded me just that, and it's very, very, very rewarding when you see children who wants to do better. Sometimes their background don't give them that, or their rap sheet don't allow them that, and I take mentoring very personal. Mark Your Path is just that. It's to give them an opportunity to find positive role models, even if it's just me connecting them to the Adams brothers, uh, just to have somebody to talk to. If I could just do that little bit, that's what Mark Your Path is about.
And I mispronounced that. It is called Mark Your Path
Yes, Mark,
Youth Mentoring
MARK.
Initiative. I was saying market, but it is Mark Your Path. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, Mark.
Yes. So there is a lot of youth out there that they kind of stray
Hmm.
off the track and they get lost somewhere out in the streets, and father figure in the home, or maybe their mother passed away, their father passed away, or whatever it is. And what you're doing is very special, and there are a lot of kids out there that need this type of program to go through to get them back on the right track.
Correct. So, with the let's just, I guess we'll fast forward to, I had no idea how I wanted to frame Mark Your Path. I just go with it. And one day I was riding down the street in Fort Lauderdale at work, going out to see a family, and I passed this box and it had books in it. So I was like, what is that? So came back around and looked it up, and then it instantly hit me that Mark Your Path is about community service, education, and the betterment of oneself. So what way of not putting a book in someone's hand, whether it's a preschooler or a high schooler, what better way not to do that, and giving them access at all times. So I'm horning on onto that. And yeah, Mark Your Path is just that. It is to give access and to just give people a chance that someone may not else give them a chance.
Do you ever run into any of the youth that you have mentored that has, made their way through your program? Do you ever run into them and see that the work that you put in has now helped this young lady or this young man, and you see them like down the road, a year or two down the road, and they're on the right track and they're doing really good? Do you ever run into any of the youth that has come through your program?
So the program is fairly new, like really new. And I've only been back home for a few years.
Okay.
So but for that, the kids that I've mentored before, when I was out at Deerfield Packer Rattlers and things like that, I have run into them. I have ran like them and their children. So, and it's fulfilling to know that they remember, one, who I am, and two, to hear their story, just to see what they've done in the last 15 years
Mhm.
since me being their coach at the Packer Rattlers. So of course we know that that's no longer around, but that organization has put a staple on myself and those who grew up in it also. And it is very fulfilling to see or hear them say, you remember when, or you was this, that, and the other. Of course, everybody knows my mom. So, you know, it's just important to me to know that they didn't forget something that I either showed them, I talked to them about, or anything like that. So yes, I have definitely ran into some old mentees, and I plan on continuing that with Mark Your Path.
Okay. Right.
Yes. So, Ihesha, when you saw the book display in Fort Lauderdale, uh,
Mhm.
what idea did it give you to bring it back here locally to the city you gave so much to and was raised in?
Well, because I knew we didn't have one, I did my research. The organization is a nonprofit organization. It's called the Little Free Library, and it's littlefreelibrary.org. They are amazing. They have ton of information, a ton of stands everywhere across the nation. So I looked it up, and you can look up by zip code, actual zip code, city, state, someone's name, and you can see how many are in your area. So that's what I did. And Deerfield Beach did not have absolutely one, not in my neighborhood or the other neighborhoods that I thought it would be in. I for sure knew that it would be one in on the outsides of where I sit, on the other side of Dixie Highway or out west. I for sure knew it would be one there, and it wasn't. So, um, I'm a woman, and I love shoes, and I love purses. When I saw that box, I said, I want that. Like I saw a pair of shoes or a bag. So, it was important that that took place, that I worked hard on that. Um, And all I did was make a call to my dad, like I always do. And he was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, send me a picture. And that's what I did.
Okay. And just explain to us from there. Once
Okay.
he
And
did it,
so,
tell us how everything came to fruition.
okay, so I sent him a picture on the website. It gives you everything. It tells you how you can build one. It gives you ideas of what you can make one out of.
Mhm.
And I did the cost and looked at it. I was like, oh, okay, a few $100s, it's worth it. Or let's build it. So we did that. My dad was coming home from work, and he found two dresser drawers on the side of the road. And he was like, hey, do you think we can use these? So I was like, I think so. Let's see. He and my uncle got such amazing creative minds, and I'm just like, I call myself their little do little behind them, because I come behind and be like, that worked, okay. And they took those dresser drawers, broke them down, put them together, found some strap materials that was in a shed and some paint that we may have already had, and they put it together. So over the course of maybe a year or so, on my dad's days off and just some free time, he sat in his garage and put this bookcase together. And that's what's sitting in my front yard right now. Like, he just put in the work, and he'll call and say, all right, well, you got to come do this, or all right, we got to go to Home Depot for this. But really not much of nothing, because it was all what we've had around the house. So with that, I like to, I think I put it up as a post that one man's trash became someone's treasure. Look, like, legit, that's definitely what this is, because throughout the process, my family is very big on education, because my mom, my dad has never ever not instilled that into me, my sister, and my brother. And we got a big village, so it's nothing but, okay, do what you got to do and make sure you have your stuff together. So me telling him I wanted to build a library was just gonna be okay. It's not, he wasn't gonna tear me down. So he wasn't gonna say no, and he really did. He put his all into it, and I am grateful for that. I am.
And that was very creative to find a dresser drawer and gut it and do. I mean, I rode by there and I saw it. Very creative. It's very professional looking.
Waterproof. He, like, logistic wise, to make sure that the water don't leak in, and how it's sealed, and how it's going in the ground. Like, I sent what they put on the website. It tells you to make sure it's in your zoning. I did that. I went to the city, made sure. They could not find it to tell me if it was illegal or illegal. The only thing I did know was that I couldn't put it on an open lot, which we have a lot that's next to our house, and I couldn't put it there, because that was my thought, that the street it sits on is not that busy, so kids, shouldn't be affected by traffic. And once the lady said, no, well, if you put it in your yard, it's a part of decorations. So that was another step to it. Like, and then the thought of just making sure it's safe for people to get to, accessible, and it just became amazing when they built sidewalks in our neighborhood. I've been living in this neighborhood and there was no sidewalks, but now we have a sidewalk. So it makes it even better, because now the kids aren't so close to the or whoever is going to be accessing it aren't close to the road. So those things came into thought also, to make sure it's safe for you to use. Yeah.
And tell us about the dedication. I think that was the dedication that you had Saturday, because I was looking at it on your mom's Facebook. Tell us about that and how all of that came about.
So my dad we finished it maybe like 2 months ago, like a complete, it's done, it's ready to go. About 2 months or a month ago. But we wanted to finish it beforehand. COVID came in, just, it is what it is. It's COVID. I had planned to say this is gonna be a big event. Just, it's gonna be super big. Again, COVID. So my dad was like, no, you got to get this in the ground. So he was like, it's got to get out of my garage and in the ground. So once I knew when he was gonna bring it and dig a hole and put it in, my boyfriend dug the hole, put it in there, and I was like, well, we got to put it up. So February, put it on. Siblings, and of course my close friends, but I was just like, no, let me just send it to who gonna come, which is family. So that's how it came about. I had donations of someone to donate school supplies. So I put bags together for the kids to get school supplies. I always like giving out, I call it the brown bag. Um, at the end of the school year for the last 2 years, 3 years since I've been home, I have packed little goodie bags for kids that come from Deerfield Middle, or maybe some that walk from Deerfield Park on the last day of school, or like during the last day of week, of a snack to wish them a happy summer. So I call that the brown paper bag. And I put a few of those together for everyone to grab, and that's what the unveiling was. And I just wanted to explain how it came about and how it's important that giving back is a part of me. And I love plants. So if you think about a plant starts from a seed. So if you water it, you know, sometimes you got to talk to plants, sometimes you
Cultivate it.
name them. Huh?
You got to cultivate it.
Uh-oh.
I
You
think he
back.
froze up.
Oh, I thought he was saying something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you got to cultivate the plants.
yes, you gotta get it together. And that's how I take that throughout life with different things. And the library is just that, it's a seed. And we planted it, and the purpose of it is to flourish and give sunshine and light to somebody else. Who just The library was closed for how many months because of COVID? Kids
Wow.
went without picking up books if they cared to go to the library beforehand. I know kids who go to the library because it's a safe place. Coming to my front yard is a safe place. If no one's home, they don't have to be afraid to pick up a book and go. They can pick it up and just pick it and go. They can leave a book, take a book. And even if they don't bring the book back, at least they have that book to help flourish them. Um, Donations came from out of nowhere. In the last 3 days, I've been picking up books from everywhere. So I did have enough to start. I had enough, more than enough to start. I had a friend girl, her daughter cleaned out her bookcase. When my sister told her about the project months ago, like earlier last year, she told her about the project. And one day she went to go get her hair done, and she said, "Oh, Aisha doing the library, you know, da 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 da." She said, "Oh, okay." So she came back and gave my sister a back seat full of books of all ages. So that's how we started um collecting our books. So that was enough to start us for, I don't know, a while. And then on Saturday we had people drop off books and things of that nature. So yeah, we got enough to keep watering. Our seed is definitely being watered.
Okay, and you answered us a few questions, like, questions are like, where do I check the books out? Kids, how many books
Okay,
can
I
you
can go
check
back.
out?
I'll
Is
go
there
read
a fee?
that.
Where do I return the books?
There is no fee. It's free. FREE.
Mhm,
Free.
mhm.
The slogan on Little Free Library is take a book, share a book. So the goal is for you to pick up a book and also bring a book. You do not have to bring a book. I want them to take the books, those um and reading. We really have a lot of kids that love reading. Hey, so no, it's free. This isn't Barnes and Noble. This is Little Free Library.
And how would you like to see this expand in the future? I know my vision of this, I would like to see a full-fledged library over here in our district one day. And I've been talking to every commissioner that's been in there probably for the last 12 years now about a library. I don't think none of them never really took it seriously. Not saying they didn't care, but I just don't think they took it seriously,
We
probably
got a
because of
library. That's
money.
what they're probably like, we have a library in Deerfield.
Right, but we need one over here for our community. And
You're
as I was,
absolutely right.
yeah, would you like to see something like that expand? I would like to see even someone that have a building or something, they can donate for your project to get way bigger than this?
I definitely think that would be a awesome idea. Only because, again, we have one library, and the same library that's been here in Deerfield since probably when you guys were coming up. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The expansion on the little free libraries, my vision is that we have one in every district in the city of Deerfield. Because it's needed.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter your color. It does not matter anything. For myself, I hated reading. I did not like reading as a kid. But I see how reading could have helped me now in life. I'm not doing bad, but I know that if I picked up a book, maybe my vocabulary would have been a little bit expanded. But that doesn't discredit, my ability knowledge now. But if we can drive into kids' literacy, who knows where that can take them?
Yes, no doubt. And
yeah,
the sky's the limit. I mean, and with the kids today, they need everything possible. I know as far as me coming up, reading was my thing. I mean, I read books. My brother and my parents would tell you, I was reading all the time. To this day, sometimes I go to sleep at night with a book on my chest like this, reading. So I see you have that passion for that. And if there's any way I can definitely assist you in trying to get a library, because that is my passion too. I can definitely try to, whether it's talking to politicians, whether it's talking to politicians or anything, come get me and I will go and talk, because I've been beating that drum for at least 12 years now about getting a library. And anything I can help you as far as achieving that, I don't want no credit. I don't care. The credit is yours.
No, see, that's the thing. Starting this is a start for me. And knowing that I for sure know that for my generation to exceed. So to know that you've already had that plan is now it's time for a carry out, right? And so whether it's having more little boxes or a big box, meaning a standing building, it's just a point of starting. So yes, I think that is an awesome idea, and I back you because it's needed. It's definitely needed.
Well, I'm going to continue to talk to, I know right now time's tough, and I know with this COVID, I understand, even looking at the federal government, things are tight. They're arguing about money now. And I know money is tight here in the city of Deerfield, but whenever things, and I'm still going to ask, because there's nothing wrong, like they say, closed mouths don't get fed. So I'm going to continue to beat the drums about it, because I like to see a library over here. Central Village have a little mini library that serves them. Yes, right over where the Boston Market used to be at. If you come near the Jewish synagogue, it's a little library, Broward County Library right there too. I go there all the time. Yes, and anything, like I say, I can do, to help you, I will assist you definitely in getting a library in our area. And I want to say this before I turn it to Daryl. I'm very proud of you, Ihesha, and I'm very, very proud of you and what you have done here with the library. And that's all the questions I have. I'll turn it over to Daryl.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Adams. Thank you so much. And again, it takes just a start. So thank you.
Yes.
And Ihesha, if someone wanted to make a financial donation to where is it here? Mark Your Path. How could they do that? Are you on Facebook or are you on Instagram? How could they make a donation to you?
Cashapp or whatever.
Drop off some books to you? How could they bring books to you and for the people that's watching this podcast?
I book donations, not financial donations as of yet. But I am on Instagram, and we're in the works of getting our Facebook page together. I'll give you the Instagram as we speak, and it's gonna be Mark Your Path. It's MARK your Mark Your Path Mentoring, MENTORINGINC.
Mark Your Path Mentoring, and that's on Instagram.
INC at the end.
Okay.
And that's our Instagram.
Ihesha, we are proud of you. My brother and I, we are both proud of you. The work that you're doing.
Thank you.
We want you to keep up the good work. And there was always an old saying that if you want to hide information from a Black person, you put it in a book. Well, we're going to knock down all those walls there, because we're going to be giving people books here in this community. With your help, that old saying is going to be out the door. It's been out the door, but
yes.
You keep up the good work, and we really appreciate you stopping by the Adams Brothers Podcast. You're welcome to come back on here.
I hope I answered all your questions.
Give us your address where we can drop the books off at.
262 Southwest First Terrace.
Okay.
And that's in Deerfield Beach. In
Deerfield Beach, yes. And
Okay,
also go on littlefreelibrary.org, put in the map, you can use a map and search 33441. You'll see that it's only one in Deerfield.
Freelibrary.org. Okay.
Yes.
Once again, we're talking to Ihesha O'Neal. She's has Mark Your Path mentoring initiative, and she's accepting donation for books. And if you'd like to help Ihesha out with some books, please, you could just drop those books off at 262 Southwest First Terrace in Deerfield Beach. Ihesha, thank you so much for stopping by the Adams Brothers Podcast, and you're welcome to come back on this podcast anytime you get ready.
We would definitely come. We're gonna be looking for materials too, because we're gonna have a few more boxes here in Deerfield. So yes, we definitely. If we get our books up, we ain't gonna have no worries. We'll have to get the boxes together, and I'm ready for that.
Okay, and I know your mother's gonna be watching this podcast, so say hello to Luana. Tell her we said hi. I know she's gonna watch the podcast later.
Kelvin and your grandmother. Say hello to all of them.
You guys say hello. I will. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
I should have a great evening, and thanks again for coming on the Adams Brothers Podcast.
Awesome.